Perry, you claim to have a daughter with the defendant, Mr. Davis, and now you want to prove that he also fathered your 1-month-old son, Adonis. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Davis, you say any trust you had for Miss Perry went out the window once you learned you were not the only man climbing through hers.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you say you're 1,000% certain that you are not Adonis's father and encourage Miss Perry to go find who is.
Right.
All right, so Miss Perry, tell me, why do you feel Mr. Davis is denying your son?
Because he's too busy hanging around with his homeboys, getting into every other woman he can find, and just too busy to take care of his responsibilities.
Is that true, Mr. Davis?
No, Your Honor. It's not correct.
Why are you denying it?
She want me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's never about the kid. It's always about,
That's a lie.
You want to be with me.
That's a lie.
Let's date.
That is a lie. Nobody wants you. You want everything. Everybody is about you. It's not about you at the end of the day. Regardless what happens between me and you, it's about our kids. That's all I ever wanted for you. If you don't have no money, then spend time. That's all you got to do. I never made it hard for you to see your kids. Don't try to play me like that. Don't try to play me. I can't stand it. It's hard right now for me. It's like, yes, I did care for him. I did. But till I found out his true colors, that all went out the window. You know what I'm saying? I was always there for him. He cannot say that. I don't know what type of vendetta he got against me. I never done nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be there.
All you got,
it's not about you, man. It's not about you.
You say he just doesn't have time because he's running around with his friends.
Yes, he got a girlfriend. He got a baby mama. He got this one. He got that one. They both claiming him. So which one you with? I'm not finna be a part of that triangle. You think you really that good? You not that good, man.
What is
you not.
You're not.
You not. You so high and mighty. I don't know what they see in you, but obviously, yeah, I was young and
We
dumb.
here for a reason.
I learned my mistakes. Honestly, it happened twice. I know I can't fault him for everything. But at the end of the day, it's not right.
About.
I'm not finna be sitting in this little love
So I've never been there for the baby.
I have, Your Honor. He's been there.
Have you been there for the baby, Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
He was there for her for like the first 6 months. He started slacking off. He come every now and then. Every 2-3 months, he come pop in for about 30 minutes. She cried and have a fit on the floor. Then he leave on to the next. Always have a car full of dudes with him when he come.
I want to understand what's going on here because it's obvious there's a lot of water under this bridge. How did you all get together?
Social media.
We met on the internet.
Social media. We met like that. It was a friends with benefits situation. I see him, he see me, we're together, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I started caring for him or whatever, but you know, that's just me. Maybe I was just missing something and I felt like he was that missing person that I needed.
You met on the internet?
Yes.
And you all, talked over?
For about a week. We probably talked about a week. Then we met up, did whatever we did, which was about 2 times, and then next thing you know, I'm pregnant.
We both
but
had a child.
But you know it just take one time, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
We both had a child prior to meeting each other. 3 months before we met each other, we both had a child, which is the same age.
So you both came into this relationship with children?
Yes.
Then you met on the internet site, and then you all start sleeping together?
Yes.
Yep. And that's when you got pregnant with Skylar, your older daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We saw each other like 2 times. I found out a little bit after that I was pregnant, and I told him that I was pregnant. And he said, well, he would need a DNA test because he's been through that situation before. I said, okay, cool. You can get one all you want to, but I'm not paying for it because I know who my baby daddy is.
After all of that, he just came to accept Skylar, or did you have the DNA test?
He never paid for it. He came up, he didn't come when she was born because I guess he was working then. But when he came to the hospital, he said, oh, she looks just like my other son.
Did you ask for a DNA test when it came to Skylar, Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Did you ever have one?
No, ma'am.
So that's true. You never got the DNA test.
And she has
But you accept Skylar as your daughter.
Yeah, I mean, that was my, you know what I'm saying, my first daughter. So I was, you know what I'm saying, I was younger and more naive, I guess that would be the word. So I'm more open to it. You know what I'm saying?
But if you had doubts, why did you say, oh, I'm glad you're having my daughter?
Because I was young.
If it was a boy, it would be a junior. If it was a girl, Davis, it would be her last name, blah, 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 blah. And now you want to flip the script all of a sudden.
I wanted to know, what's the reason why this little boy, if you feel like that's my baby, why he ain't got my last name now then?
Because I'm not finna give no man, you have to earn to have a child. You know what I'm saying?
She got my last name.
That's how I am.
She got my last name.
My son has my last name. You have to deserve it just because you push.
Woo, hold on now, Miss Perry, take a breath. Take a breath.
Because I got a lot to say, and I've been going through a lot. And
Look, I can tell you have, and I want to understand it, but you have not taken a breath, and I don't want you to skip too far in the story so that I miss some important pieces as to how two people, I can tell, cared a little bit about each other. How do you get here? You said at first he asked for the DNA test when it came to Skylar. Then you said if you want to pay for it. He never paid for it, so then he just accepted. And you said you were younger then, so you were a little more open. You just said, you know what, okay.
Well, who would do that? If you denying it, why would you do that? Why would you agree to a child?
But then I want to get to the point where after you have Skylar, do you all stay in a relationship? Are you still?
We never
was in a relationship.
So you didn't date at all?
No.
So you all just went on back to your own lives. But were you having sex?
Yeah, we were, but it was never, it was just.
It was a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, look, you both agree to that, so no one contests it. So you accepted Skylar, then you keep having this sexual relationship, and then you get pregnant with Adonis. How do you tell him?
I told him, I called him, I said, I think I might be pregnant. He said, ha, 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 and hung up the phone.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. When she says, hey, I'm pregnant, why you gotta act like a dog and just hang up?
Because that's what he is.
I don't think I'm the only one.
So explain that to me. You hung up. Why? Why would you do something so rude to a woman you've acknowledged is the mother of your older daughter?
Because every time I come and see Skylar, when I come up, it's always her on the porch and a group of dudes. And so one day I come over to visit, and when I come, she runs straight to the back room. She runs to her room, then runs in the bathroom. She stays in the bathroom for about 5-10 minutes. Her sibling runs out. He like, oh yeah. He's calling me her ex-boyfriend name. You know what I'm saying? Kept calling, so I'm like, shh. I said, oh, where he at? He like, oh, he just left. That was one reason. And you know something? One day we go to like a little music festival or whatever downtown. So she holding the baby, we just walking and talking or whatever. Her ex-boyfriend, she see him, you know what I'm saying? Runs up to him, so, you know what I'm saying? Putting the hands all in his face, arguing with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's a lot for somebody that you don't deal with no more.
So when she starts arguing with the ex, you felt like, maybe this is unfinished business, that they still may be together. So when Adonis is conceived, was there anything going on that would indicate to you that she may be sleeping with someone else?
The window situation, could I explain?
Yes.
All right, so one day I'm too drunk to drive home. You know what I'm saying? I left the club. So I called Kiara. Once I get there, I'm sitting outside about 10 minutes. Kiara, can I crash here? You know what I'm saying? She like, oh yeah, well my mom, she gonna have a problem with that, but you could come through the window. So when I come in, the window was sitting down. When you break a window from the other side, from the inside out, it's not made for you to put the window back in. So the window was broke in an A, you know what I'm saying, in an A shape right here. This was bent. And it was sitting right here and didn't have enough time to fix all that up. The window's already sitting there, means that somebody had already jumped through this window.
First of all, I live in a neighborhood where the maintenance ain't even good. That's why the window's like that.
All right, correct.
Oh, so you thought the way you got in, somebody else got in too?
Yes.
But they didn't put the window back.
She ain't say nothing about it.
Were you letting other men through the window, Miss Perry?
No, absolutely not. No.
What are you feeling right now, Miss Perry?
It's just, I don't know, like, he just made me feel bad, like I'm less than somebody because I really did care about him. So when you have somebody that you care about talk to you like that, it's just like, it makes me feel like I'm less of a woman because I'm going through this situation. I have 3 kids, I'm a single parent, I go to work, I'm going to school. It's just, I don't have transportation. I can barely get them a ride to their doctor's appointments. It's hard. And for him to feel this way about me, it's not right. It's really not right.
And I can see it upsets you because you feel like you let yourself down.
I've never been in trouble in my life. I've never done anything wrong. And it's just like, now that I have kids, I've lost friends. I lost a lot of people, and it's not fair that he treat me like that because I did nothing to him. I did not. I just want what's best for my kids. I want my kids to know his other kids. I want my kids to know his grandparents. And it's just not fair because the baby mama he with now, she gets all the attention. Her and her kids is the center of the attention. Your family is cool with her. They won't even take a second look at me.
I think his doubt around Adonis really hurts you.
Yes, it does.
Because you all have been in this sexual relationship on and off for years now, a couple years.
Right.
And now it's like his other children's mother, their children, and then they get attention that you feel like your children deserve.
Yes, that's all I want.
But see, when you lay down with a man with no obligation in the dark, you can't be surprised that you come out invisible. He can't see you. You understand what I'm saying? If you are okay with being the take it or leave it girl, you have to understand that there is a chance he gonna leave it. Right? So sometimes when I see young women and I hear them talking about, oh, it was just sex, it wasn't nothing to me, it wasn't nothing to me, but they're so emotional and irate, and I know that comes from a place of you wanting to be more than what it really is. So you say he finally stepped up and he accepted Skylar. Does he do anything for Adonis?
No, he's not. Haven't seen him at all. I show him pictures. I message him pictures on Facebook. Skylar looks like him. That baby look like him.
You don't think so?
No, ma'am.
What is this that you're handing,
this right
Officer
here is
Ron?
a
Ron, will you
picture.
hand me this evidence, please?
On the left is the picture of Adonis. On the right is a picture of my daughter, Aubrey.
So this is side-by-side photos. On the left, Adonis, and then on the right, your daughter, Aubrey. And you believe they look nothing alike?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, here's the pictures right here. Skylar do look like
Let
you.
me see that, please,
Here's the
Ron.
pictures of them beside
man.
each other. He's a month old. His facial features haven't even came in already. They have the same, like the eyes and stuff like that. My kids even look like his mother.
So on this photo, you have side-by-side pictures of Skylar and Adonis. Now, Skylar, you say, is your biological daughter.
Yeah,
See?
yes.
So you have questions. So this
I
court
got-
has administered a DNA test for Skylar as well, since you never had one.
Yes.
Have you made an effort with Adonis?
No.
Has Mr. Davis provided financially at all for Adonis?
He did, but he did the first 6 months, and then he started doing like every other month or every other 2 months and stuff like that, back and forth. He didn't do it consistently. He came and saw her every 2-3 months, show up, pop up for a little while, and then leave out with his homies.
Is that true, Mr. Davis? Have you
No,
spent
ma'am.
quality time
Yes,
with Skylar and with Adonis?
I don't. For one, when she had Adonis, I was out of town. I was in Chicago. And in the midst of that, when I came back, we got into a whole argument. Got into an argument with a friend. I'm not finna come around if it's gonna be drama like that.
Miss Perry, I have to ask you, were you dealing with anybody else? He was, and you knew
Yes,
that.
but it wasn't around the time I conceived. That was afterwards.
No. One day we got into it. So I'm like, I just asked him, I'm like, so who you been chilling with lately? You know what I'm saying? Just asking, you know what I'm saying? One of my homeboys whispered something in my ear, let me know something. So I just asked, you know what I'm saying? Who you been kicking it with lately? Well, I let this guy, perform on me, but we never did anything. I'm a man. That ain't happening without the other thing happening. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going down like that.
I want to get this together.
Yes,
And I want to
please.
get you all the answers you need to be able to figure out how to move forward. Because this right here, you all getting nowhere. Ron, may I have the envelope, please?
We have 2 of them.
Now, we have 2 sets of results. The first one is for Adonis. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Perry versus Davis, when it comes to 1-month-old Adonis Perry, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Davis, you are the father.
That's good.
You said that's good? So you're happy your doubts are alleviated?
Yeah, I'm happy to get that out of the way.
That's all he is something out the way. He still ain't gonna do nothing after we leave here.
Can we read the next one, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The next results are for Skylar. In the case of Perry versus Davis, when it comes to 22-month-old Skylar Davis, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Davis, you are not her father.
Gotcha.
Let's be respectful. You're not the father, Mr. Davis, of
What?
Skylar. He's not Skylar's biological father, Miss Perry.
Stressing me out.
That was the only one. I mean, I wouldn't even lie about something like that.
So do you have any idea who Skylar's father is?
I may have.
Then you know that you was wrong.
Because when I got pregnant with my daughter, the time period, I was not messing with nobody else.
Well, you were. The DNA just doesn't lie. It doesn't. It's absolute. Mr. Scott, you say you are appearing in court today to clear your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
You state many women, including the defendant, have dragged your reputation through the mud, claiming you are the father of their children.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit to having 6 kids by 3 different women,
Yes, Your Honor.
but state that the defendant is not mother number 4 with child number 7.
Yes. Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
You have requested a paternity test to prove that the defendant's 3-year-old son, Jalen, is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Crane, you say you were always faithful to Mr. Scott and that Jalen is definitely his son.
Yes, Your Honor.
You argue Mr. Scott is the one who cheated and claimed that during your pregnancy,
It's not
you
true.
found out he was a
Not
married
true at all.
man.
She's been,
Yes,
she's
Your
been
Honor.
cheating the whole time.
Never.
Ms. Crane, you insist that Mr. Scott has never even offered you a dime
Never.
since your son was born. You're here to make a counterclaim against Mr. Scott in the amount of $5,000, the maximum allowed by this court, for half of the expenses you've spent on Jalen's child care. Now, Mr. Scott,
Yes.
explain to me why you have these doubts about Ms. Crane.
Where you want me to start at?
I want you to start from the beginning and
Okay, well,
tell
first
me
of
the
all,
truth.
When we were together, you know, her cell phone would ring, she'll walk out the room. She'll cut her cell phone off. She'll leave her cell phone with her best friend. Or like after we spend the night with each other, instead of me taking her home, she'll like walk home and I'll just peep at her and look at her, see what she's doing. And she had other dudes picking her up and she admitted it to me about other dudes picking her up.
You a lie.
You know, I don't need to put his name out
Pick
there.
her
That's
up, going
insecurities,
where?
Your Honor. Insecurities. He a grown man.
Nah, it's not insecurity.
Yes, it is.
My
That's
eyes
what
don't
you're
lie.
saying. Insecurities
My
is
eyes
what
don't
he
You
lie.
said they're picking her
Now, as
up.
far
The
as-
other guys are. You're in a relationship.
Yeah, we was dealing with each other. Yes, we was.
Dealing with each other.
That
Yes.
means
In a
we was
relationship?
stable then. If
We
he
was
just said
together.
that,
We was together. We was together. 'Cause we
In
was
a
still spending the
committed
night.
relationship?
In a committed relationship.
but he was married.
He just said you were in a committed relationship.
Yes, we was committed.
And you just said, Ms.
Thank
Crane,
you.
that he was married.
Major negative. I've been major negative. I've been divorced since December 9th, 2009.
I didn't
tell
know
She
about
knew I
none
had
of the
kids, though.
Enlighten me.
She knew I had kids.
Enlighten me. How did you discover?
Your Honor, I was 7 months pregnant. I didn't know where Marcel was. He used my phone one time. He deleted all his calls. So I went back on the internet, went back to the research, called all the numbers he called, and found out he was married for 9 years.
That's true. I was
Thank you.
married. That's true. I was married, but I've been divorced since December 2009.
Wait, now after you found
We've
that
been
out,
divorced. We've been
what
legally
happened?
separated and everything.
you confronted him?
No, actually,
She
he was
never
at
did.
the woman's house, and he actually picked up the phone. So the lady was like, well, who is this calling from Marcel? I said, well, I'm his baby mama, his girlfriend. He's like, well, how was that when I'm married for 9 years with him, and he's right here? So Marcel hopped on the phone and cussed me out for calling. Then the lady
That's
was
true.
like,
That is true.
well, this is my husband, so she told me to get an abortion. So he was like, no, that's my son, and I'm never going to have her given an abortion. So that's really the story.
When she called the number, did you pick up the phone?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
And where were you?
I was
At
at my
your-
ex-wife. I have every right to be
You
there. I
at
have
your
kids with there.
ex-wife's
Yeah,
house.
I take care of my kids.
So
We've been
you're
divorced.
saying that when she called that number, you were already divorced, but you were there
We've been
visiting your
divorced since
kids.
December
But he was
9th.
sitting there,
But when
Your
you
Honor,
divorce
letting him-
somebody, do you still answer their phone?
Wait, it was her cell phone, and she said, I don't recognize this number. Can
It
you
was a
answer the
house
phone?
phone, Your Honor.
It was
She
not the house
said
phone. Why would she
that.
have my house phone number? Why would she have her
But
house
you
phone
just
number?
said what you said? It's his house phone number.
It was.
He didn't
And
say
you
nothing.
7 months pregnant when this happened.
Yep.
No, that's not true at all. It's not true at all.
What's
It's
the
not true
truth?
at all.
What's the truth?
And
Mr.
he
Scott?
lied about all of his kids. I didn't know he had no kids.
She lied because I got tattoos all over my body. I got all my kids' names on my neck, on my
That
back.
don't mean nothing.
Everywhere.
Your Honor,
She
I
knew
didn't
my
ask him
kids'
nothing
names.
about no tattoos.
No, well, you want to talk about tattoos? What about the dude's name tattooed on your body?
What
that
about
you said
it?
it was your brother's.
And?
But then come to find it's another dude that's holding the baby. You know what I mean?
Your
Come
Honor,
on.
if we were not
Okay,
together, we were not
Okay,
together at the
okay,
time.
wait a minute now. Mr.
Why I'm not
Scott
on the
has
birth
some
certificate?
info I need to delve
Why
into.
I'm not on the birth
You
certificate?
say that Miss Crane has a tattoo on her body.
Well, I don't know if she still has it, but what she just told me recently that she had it covered up, she has not one, not two, not three, but 3 dudes' name tattooed
No,
on
Your
her.
Honor, I had one, and that was my ex-boyfriend for 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years that she
And
said
you
had
say
on her
there's
back.
a
Did
picture?
she?
There's a picture
yeah, it
of
was a
one
picture
of
of her. Yeah, it
those
was a-
men holding
Now,
the
I don't know
baby
if
that
it-
she's saying is yours.
I don't know if it was one of them men, but the dude that she was with was my ex-wife's cousin.
Oh,
so he's
okay,
holding.
Okay, let's
so
get
he's
that.
Holding,
Wait
so-
a minute now, Mr. Scott.
so-
Give me a minute. The guy she was with before you is your ex-wife's
Cousin, yes.
cousin.
Let me explain. Let me tell you what. This is what I guess she
All
didn't
in
know
the
that.
family.
So come to find out, you know what I'm saying? Come to find out, that's my ex-wife's cousin. They're all at the what is it called? The Black Friday.
Walmart.
Black Friday Walmart. It's 12 o'clock at night. 1 o'clock. She got the baby out in the stroller. She sees my ex-wife. They said that's what they told me, that she put the cover over the baby's head so nobody could see the baby. And they asked, "Is that Marcel's baby?" She said, "Nah." And then, so she had to explain.
No, Your Honor.
She had to
Actually,
explain
what
to the
happened
dude.
was
Let me talk.
the
Let me talk.
sister was
Let me
telling me
talk.
that that wasn't his baby, so I covered my son up.
What you're trying to tell me is that's one of the things that created doubt in your mind, because
It created
when
doubt in my
she-
mind, period, when
When
she
she
started getting text
covered the
messages and shit.
baby up, you're saying she
That was
didn't
one of
show
them.
that baby and tell them that that was your son. You're saying that your ex-wife told you that she said that it's not your son.
Yes. And then while she's pregnant, she had hickeys on her neck. And
Your
I didn't give
Honor.
her them hickeys. You know what I mean? And when she was pregnant, she didn't even tell me she was pregnant. I said, well, let me take you to Kaiser
Man.
Permanente Hospital. She told me to go to the Kaiser Permanente in Lancaster, and she's at the Kaiser Permanente in Palmdale.
You're saying you're trying to be there and be involved once you find
Never.
out.
I take care of all my kids.
And so you're
I have
trying to
6
take
kids.
her to the medical appointments.
Yeah, she wouldn't let me
And
take
she
her.
telling
told me
you
her
she's
sister
at one branch, but you at the other branch.
She said, oh, my sister dropping me off. Come to find out, she told me and said, like, well, yeah, Whoop-de-Whoop dropped me off. That's what she said. I said, oh, okay.
Who
Oh, your
dropped
other
you
dude
off?
dropped you
Who
off?
dropped her off?
It doesn't
The
matter
other-
who
another
dropped
dude-
me off.
another
I
dude
was not
dropped
with
her
this
off.
man.
I'm trying
And
to
I
deal
want
with
to
her.
understand why you are so doubtful. And I'm listening.
Because
You're
of the
saying,
text messages, the random dudes, the dudes that she told me about.
you're saying that you all had broken up.
Broken up after I found out he was married.
She called back 2 weeks
And
later.
Were
Come
you
on.
pregnant when
Never.
you found out?
Yeah, I was 7 months pregnant. And at the doctor's
She didn't even
appointment,
have a
I seen
car.
his wife, and she was pregnant at the same time.
Yeah, they was.
Oh, wait.
They
I
was.
thought you
But
were
they wasn't-
divorced
but they wasn't
in
together, though.
2009.
Yeah, but we were separated, though. We were separated.
And then,
We've
Your
been
Honor-
divorced, but we were separated.
And then he
I
said
mean, me
that,
and
oh
her
no,
wasn't
that's
Wait a
together.
minute.
Me and her wasn't
You were
together.
divorced
Yeah, we
from
got
your
divorced,
wife.
but then, yeah, we still messed around from time
So
to
you got
time.
her pregnant after you
Yeah,
divorced
I mean, I'll admit it.
Your Honor, and then when
will
I
admit
asked him about it, he
This
said,
ain't got
no, that's
nothing-
not my baby because my
This ain't
ex-wife
got
is
nothing
not
to do
to
with
my liking
nothing.
because she's too big.
Man, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, man. This is what it is. She had hickeys on her neck as she's pregnant. What woman does
But
that?
we wasn't together. So
It
who
doesn't
cares?
even
And I was
matter.
back
Why would
with
you
my
let another
boyfriend
man
for 5
suck
years.
all on your
Of
body?
course.
One day I'm the father, one day I'm not. I ain't been in my son's life in 3 years. Wanna know why?
Because of him.
inconsistency. It's
No.
inconsistency. She won't
Inconsistency
let
with
me
him.
be there.
Okay. Do you understand, at least on this level, why he would have doubt?
Can't
As
have
you were
hickeys on
saying to
your neck.
him, like, he is the father or he's not the father, or maybe you were angry with him and then you go say to his family, you
The
know,
only doubt
he's
he
not
should
the
ever have
father.
is when I found out he was married. We got into it, and he said some stuff. So I was like, you know what, Jalen is not yours, so I don't need you in my life.
Nah, you don't need to say
And
that.
that's because I was emotional. So of course I'm gonna say what I have to
So
say.
you're admitting that out of hurt, when you found that
Yeah.
out, you're not the father of the baby anyway, and I don't need you in my life.
Okay, if she knew this was my baby, she's 100% sure that how come you didn't put my name on the birth certificate?
Your Honor,
How
why
he
would
doesn't
I
have
put
my
his name on
last
the birth
name?
certificate?
Why
He's
he
been
don't have my
married for
last
9
name?
years.
All my kids, I got 9 kids, I have 6 kids, and I take care of all my kids. You
That's
said
what
I
he
don't
does.
work, I got a job, Google that. My last one, you know my social, go ahead and do that, I work. I've
Your
been
Honor, let me
working.
tell you something.
I've been
So-
working. I take
so-
care of all my kids.
To his credit,
It doesn't matter how
To
many
his
kids I have.
credit, a lot
care
of
of my
children,
kids.
but he says he takes care of them and he
Yes.
wants them to
I
have
got-
his name.
Yeah.
Did you also do that out of hurt, where you
Yep.
said, "I'm
We're
not
spo-
giving the
Exactly.
baby"?
We're supposed to
Yes.
name. We're supposed to name him. Look, all my boys start with M's, right? Jaden's name was supposed to be an M, behind my boys, And if it was a girl, it would have went through, with an S with her initials.
Your Honor, why would I
named
give him that
something a
kind of
whole
credit
nother
when he
dude's
just
name.
hurt
That
me?
was a whole nother
Scott, do
dude's
you
name.
understand that when she was 7 months pregnant and dialed that number and you
Please,
answered,
thank
things
you.
changed
I
in
didn't
her
even answer
mind
the
about
phone.
who
My
she
ex-wife handed
No,
me
he
the phone.
just said he answered the phone, Your Honor. He just said he answered the phone. Now he
My-
didn't. That's what I'm
my
talking about. He's a
ex-
liar.
Have you been taking care
No, I have not.
Your
Because
Honor, let me tell you
she
something.
won't let
no,
me.
I got home from work. My
All
son
right.
was outside playing.
You never had a
and
job.
He came, please.
Never had a job.
Just like you didn't, right?
ain't got no job,
Anyway,
man.
so he was at the front gate. We have a gate in our building. So he was like, Jalen, come here, Jalen, come here. So I'm like, who's calling my son? So we go over to the gate with my son. He gave my son $1. 5 minutes after talking to me and my son, he took it back.
No,
What? Exactly.
I'll be
Exactly.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. She got me confused with another dude because I never did that. This is the only time. This is the only time I told Jenny to come to the gate.
Mr.
I want
Scott,
you. No, she told me to
Look,
come to.
let me tell you, you're pretty memorable. I don't know if anybody could
I
get
never
you
did that.
confused
Why would I
with
get
somebody
$1?
else.
Top deadbeat daddy I've ever. Oh my Jesus.
Ms. Crane, you have a countersuit
Yeah.
where you're suing Mr. Scott for half of the costs, child care expenses that you've had
have a
to
job.
incur raising
do
this
you.
child alone. And Mr. Scott, you've admitted that you haven't contributed.
I tried to be there
At
for him,
all.
but she won't allow me because one day I'm his daddy, the next day I'm not.
Marcel come around once a year, around
doesn't
this
even
time,
matter.
once a year for a week, saying he want to be in my son's life, and a week
not
later I don't
true,
hear
man.
nothing from Marcel. His number
doesn't
changed,
mean no,
all
it
that.
doesn't.
You're saying that he hasn't contributed,
Not
and
at
I
all.
need to understand how much money you spent.
Your Honor, I got all the evidence right here.
Oh, Jerome, can you hand me that, please?
She never asked for no. She
What
never
is
asked
this
for no money and
information,
never asked for no
That's all
help.
the expenses I've spent for my son ever since he was a newborn till now.
She never asked for no help.
So
or nothing like that. I tried to
diapers
offer.
and wipes, 25 per week, 3 years, baby formula,
That's all it is, Judge Lake.
clothes.
If she knew I was a father, why was she having a hard time? When I told her I would take her, I'll drive. I said, won't you have your dude drive you? My dude ain't got a car. Well, that's whack right
That's
there.
what I didn't
I'll take
say.
you. I'll
That's what I
take you to go down there. So she skipped that appointment to go to another appointment.
All right, so Mr.
Come
Scott,
on, man.
these
if you're
expenses
100%
that
sure, why take us 3 years to get a
these
DNA
expenses
test?
that I'm reviewing, they are all valid expenses
Thank you.
as it relates to raising a child. Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
I
know
have a
what it
toddler
takes, yeah.
myself.
Look at my son.
Oh.
If that's me, I'm going to take care of him. If that's me
Please.
right there, I'm going to take care of him. I know what it takes. I take care of all my kids. I'm not down her as a
But
mother. I'm
Mr.
down the
Scott,
paternity.
what I'm trying to understand is why then, if there was a thought that he could be yours and you agree that it may be the case, why not help out anyway?
I tried to. I got to deal with her. I can buy him stuff. I can give her stuff. But it's very hard to talk to her. I need her to communicate with me so I can spend time with him so he can get to know me. I said, let's go out to eat and I can take him shopping. I said that numerous of times. And she tells me no.
Mr. Scott, you're telling me that you want to be a good father.
Yeah, I
He's a
am a good
deadbeat.
father.
No, you want to be a good father to this child.
Yeah, he's
if
a
it
boy.
is
I don't have no
indeed
father in my
yours.
life. You know what I mean? I know how it feels. That's a young man right there, and I want my boys. That's my son right there. He will be
All
well
right, so
taken
we
care
have
of.
another witness in the court.
I
I
live
need
10
to bring
minutes
in
away.
Jerome. If you could please escort Miss Callan in.
Son is beautiful. And I hope he's not yours.
The caliber of a woman would say that. You know, I wish she's not yours.
What kind of woman will get pregnant by deadbeat daddy?
Your Honor, he is a snake. He is doing the same thing to
All
me
right,
with my
now.
daughter.
All right,
For real.
again?
You know, don't even play, don't even go there.
Get your dead kid.
Let's get some order. Have a seat, Miss Callan.
Don't go there.
You
For real,
are a
like,
deadbeat for
all
real.
bullshit
This gotta be
aside.
what
All
you
right.
did, baby mama.
All right. All right.
Oh my God.
Hey, I take care of my kids.
Thank
man.
you for
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
bet.
Listen.
Oh, and as for you,
Let's get some order.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
get
we'll
some
see.
order.
You is
I need to
something
hear
else.
from this
We'll
witness.
see.
wow.
Ma'am, could you please state your name for the court?
My name is Crystal Kalan.
And Ms. Callan, can you please tell the court what it is you have to add to this?
He's my daughter's father, too. My daughter's
Oh,
4
my
months
God.
old.
That's your
4
10
months
kid,
old.
right?
4 months
Ooh.
old.
Hey, do the math, man.
10
Yeah.
kids.
Our
math.
kids look just alike.
So you claim you also have a child by him, and he's denying paternity?
He wants paternity test. I have it.
Yeah, she had no problem.
Nothing.
No, I communicate with her
It's
good. There's no
nothing.
problem with her. Now, we was dealing with each other,
He's
and I had my
telling
reasons.
you
I had my
that
reasons
he
with
wants
her.
a paternity
reasons
test
with
on your
everybody.
child.
Yeah, well, we already know why I got reasons with you, man, because
Yeah.
you just
You
can't
know
stay
why I
off the
got
phone.
reasons with
Hey, I'm done with
Let's
this case.
get some order.
I'm done with this case,
Then
man.
shut up.
Miss Callan, we're going to
That's
get to
disrespectful,
your
though, for real.
case
He is.
in a moment.
Disrespectful, man,
Okay.
y'all crazy.
First, let me deal with this one.
Go ahead.
I'm ready for the results.
Me too.
Jerome, hand me the envelope, please.
Can I say something before you read them
No.
results?
No.
You have said so much, and yet nothing at all. Thank you. Now, these results will determine, Mr. Scott, whether you have 7 children now.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I love my kids.
And then after this case is dismissed, we're gonna find out if you have number 8 with Miss Kalan.
That's a D.
Now, these results will determine, Mr. Scott, whether you have 7 children now.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I love my kids.
And then after this case is dismissed, we're gonna find out if you have number 8 with Miss Kalan.
That's a D.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. In the case of Scott versus Crane, when it comes to 3-year-old Jalen Crane, Mr. Scott the wait is over. You are the father. Told you!
Thank you.
You seem happy,
Oh, yeah, I'm very happy.
and I'm glad.
I'm very happy.
And now your doubts,
Can I apologize to her? I
you
apologize
okay,
to
Miss
you
Crane?
for my assumptions. You know, I had my reasons, and I'm glad that this DNA test overcame that, and I will be there for him. I promise you, we live 10 minutes away. That's my boy
Miss
right
Crane,
there.
how do you
man.
feel? Did you hear his apology?
I hope my son don't turn out like him.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about that.
For
So
real.
come on, you got to mature up now. Come on, man.
As for your countersuit, you've enumerated and provided receipts for many expenses totaling $15,780. Now that it has been determined that Mr. Scott is, in fact, your son's father,
Oh, yeah.
the maximum this court can award is $5,000. Therefore, I am awarding you that $5,000 because it is Mr. Scott's responsibility to contribute to the child's
Hey,
well-being.
you get that. I take care of my kids.
Now, I would say court was adjourned, but I've got another matter on my hands here.
That's my boy right there.
I am going to order Mr. Scott and Ms. Kalan to go and submit to DNA testing and return to this court because we need to know once and for all if, in fact, you are the father of 8 children. Court is adjourned.